Red MacGuffin reviews the Peripheral, episode season 1, episode 3, Haptic Drift. Okay, yeah, there's a lot happens in this episode. There's a lot of stuff. It doesn't stop for a minute. There's no pause for breath. It just keeps on going. Yeah, I mean, it's a dense story. I mean, there's a lot in it. There's a lot there. There's a lot to process. I'm going to give it this episode a 3, nearly a 4. It's a good episode, very good episode. Directed by Ulrich Riley, and he's an actor and director. He's done a lot of TV work, NCIS, Bridgerton, The Good Doctor, Lucifer, The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, CSI, Castle, and he does a great job on this episode. Some great stuff on this if you're into sci-fi. Yeah, so I'm still enjoying this series, and I'm going to talk a bit about this episode. A lot. I'm going to go through the plot. It's like what would you say, a recap, and yeah, I'm going to drop some spoilers. So, spoiler warning. Okay, let's talk about this. So we have Jasper Baker as a kid. That's how this episode starts off, witnessing his uncle Cornell at his work. And by that I mean he wipes out the Mad Dog cartel by locking them in a bulletproof car and letting them, or 2 cars, I think there's 12 of them, and letting the heat kill them. They can't escape from the cars. They do have guns, and it's bulletproof glass, and yeah, he seems to enjoy his work. He says to Jasper, you have to have courage to be cruel for the pure animal joy of it sometimes. And then that's not enough. He crucifies them. So yeah, Cornell Pickett is not a good guy. He's scary. One thing I want to say, I love the theme to this series by Mark Corbin. And I don't know if I mentioned this. It's executive produced by Jonathan Nolan, Christopher Nolan's brother, and who's also a great writer, and Lisa Joy. Now they're the team behind what's it called, Westworld. So yeah, very good behind the scenes people on this. So yeah, Cornell is still trying to figure out what to do about the Fishers. Is he going to take the money? And he just doesn't know what to do. But he doesn't want to lose the money, so he's still pondering it. The Fishers' mother is a lot better. She can see again, so that's one thing. The Fishers buy the 3D printing lab, Forever Fab, and I think Burton's using it for making parts for guns or something like that anyway. And Connor, he takes the job that he's offered by Burton's to help them, protect the family and protect Flynn. So Burton tells his friends that Flynn has saw something in a sim she shouldn't have, and now people want her dead for it. So he's trying to explain to his friends why they're doing this, why they're trying to have all this surveillance on the family and the drones flying overhead to protect them. Yeah, they don't know when the next attack's going to come, and Burton's trying to explain to his friends what's going on. And Burton notices that Flynn's fist, she's having problems with her nerves, and he's worried about her, and that could have something to do with what she's doing with the sim. Now Flynn tells Billy Ann Baker everything that's going on, and she's the wife of Jasper. So Jasper Baker. So yeah, Burton's not happy about that. He's not happy. They tell her the people in the future, Wilf and Lev, they tell her that they tell her that Cornell Pickett is interested in her, and to be wary. They know how what he's up to. That he's into narcotics, and he's not a good dude. And so Burton Burton knows now that Cornell is circling around, wondering what's going on, and knows that he's probably going to be the next person to try and wipe them out for money. And what's next? Lev. So Lev, I think we find out snacks about Lev stealing from this, what do they call it? The institute, and he's using Elisa to get into that world. Using Elisa to get off. I don't know what the hell's going on there. We find out that Wolf and Elisa were adopted, and we meet their parents. And Wilf goes home to visit his mother and look for Elisa. And his mother, Mrs. West, doesn't know where she is, but they do have a cryptic message from Elisa that she's staying somewhere where the snow last fell in London. So, yeah, that's the sort of last thing she said to her mother. And a bit of a riddle there. Burton talks with Casper, and that's a real tense meeting. He offers Casper 200,000 a week to leave him alone, and cash in hand, just stay away from us. And Burton explains about how he's connected to all his comrades, his war comrades, and if anything happens to him, there's not much of a chance of Casper living to regret it. And just to make his point even more, he has a sniper shoot a glass that's sitting in front of Casper. So yeah, Casper would be a fool to have anything to do with touching the Fishers. And one thing, Tommy the sheriff sees Burton shake hands with Casper, so he's probably going to be wondering what's going on with the Fishers as well. Daniel and Dr. Charisse talk about how he's doing, trying to take out or kill what's her name? Flynn. So, and she threatens Daniel. There's one thing they mentioned that Elisa West went to school with Grace Hogarth, who is an employee of the Institute. And Dr. Charisse Newland says she's going to deal with this. And but she's a great villain, and she leaves Daniel pretty scared. And I think he's going to perform a bit better for her, because he knows he's up against it with this boss he has. And one thing they talk about is who is funding Elisa, which family, and that's probably something they're going to try and figure out. Grace meets Dr. Charisse in this very nice, greenhouse, and gives her something that bees are attracted to, and she knows that Grace might have let some secrets out about what they do in the research institute to Elisa. So Grace is going to be taken off the books, and the bees kill Grace. And she's told Elisa, I think, about the Stubb Research Division that I think Dr. Newland doesn't want her to know about. Cornell gets his money from the Fishers, and Jasper takes his money to find out, and Jasper takes some money from his uncle Cornell, and Cornell wants him to try and find out more about where the Fishers are getting all this money from. And he says to him he's worried about the wickedness coming back into the town, so he wants him to Jasper to find out more. And Wilf, with the help of Flynn, they figure out about this sort of where the snow last fell in London, and they get an address. But Wilf remembers that Elisa has a hero in Jon Snow, an intellectual hero who discovered how cholera spread, and he died in 18 Sackville Street or whatever road. And they go to that address, and there's a clock there that's similar to the clock that Flynn had, and they changed the time to 2:15 when it stopped in her house. It's the same sort of grandfather clock. And a secret door opens, and we find 2 dead peripherals. And we also see a model of the caravan that Flynn does all her sims in, and we see little 3D printouts of the soldier of Burton and the soldiers he has, with helping protect the family. They also find Elisa's implant, which Wilf takes with him. It's must have been taken out, and this is the same room that an eyeball was taken out of Marielle. I think that was her name, Marielle Raphael, or yeah. So yeah, once they're in there, Daniel arrives, and there's a big fight. Daniel's got this cool sort of jolt going, and but he doesn't win the day this time. Flynn gets control of the gun and knocks him out. Wilf takes out the droid, an android that's there as well, and Sharif's watching what's happening through the android, and Daniel's about to spill the beans on why Newland wants Flynn dead, and something about she took something, and yeah, so we don't get a chance. Daniel doesn't get a chance to say anything because he gets his head chopped off by the android before he gets a chance to say anything, and then Flynn kills the android. So yeah, that's there's a lot there, isn't there? There's a lot happens in each episode. It's a very interesting plot. It's very, yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening. We're getting bits and pieces of why Flynn, yeah, why Newland wants Flynn dead, and we're not getting a lot of questions but no answers at the moment. So they're giving us little nuggets of information. So yeah, some plot. I'm enjoying it. It keeps you on your toes, and yeah. What do you think? Are you enjoying this? Did you enjoy this episode? Are you enjoying the series? And yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. Looking forward to the next episode, and let's see what happens. Do they give us more about what's going on? So this has been Fred MacGuffin, and I think you can understand my head's a bit sore after that. But this has been Fred MacGuffin, giving you a bit of guff about the Peripheral, episode 3, season 1. Fred MacGuffin's reviewed the Peripheral. Okay.